Video 12, Assets and Capacity Assessment, Asset Mapping, Area CHES Sub-Competencies 1.6.3. Review the learning objectives for this video. This next topic represents a really important shift in how we think about community health, and I think it is going to resonate with you. In health education, we have traditionally conducted assessments by focusing on what is wrong with a community. We document disease rates, risk factors, barriers, gaps in services, and deficiencies in resources. This is the deficit-based approach, and while it provides essential information for program planning and funding justification, it has significant limitations. When you only look at what is wrong, you can inadvertently portray communities as helpless and dependent on outside expertise to fix their problems. This perspective can be disempowering, demoralizing, and frankly inaccurate. Every community, no matter how many challenges it faces, also possesses strengths, resources, skills, and assets that can be mobilized for health improvement. The asset-based approach, often associated with the work of John McKnight and Jody Kretzmann at Northwestern University, offers a complementary perspective. Rather than asking what is wrong with this community, the asset-based approach asks what is strong in this community. It identifies the skills of individual residents, the power of local associations, the resources of institutions, the physical infrastructure, and the economic assets that already exist. And I want to be clear about something important. This approach does not ignore problems. It recognizes them, but also recognizes that sustainable solutions are more likely to come from building on existing strengths than from importing external fixes. An effective health educator uses both approaches together. The needs assessment identifies the problems and gaps that need to be addressed. The asset assessment identifies the resources and capacities that can be leveraged to address them. Together, they provide a complete and balanced picture that is more likely to lead to programs that are effective, sustainable, and supported by the community. For the exam, remember that the asset-based approach is not a replacement for needs assessment. It is a necessary complement that ensures you are building with the community, not just building for the community. That distinction matters so much. Now let us talk about community capacity, a concept that appears on the CHES exam and is closely related to what we just discussed about asset-based assessment. Community capacity refers to the collective ability of a community to identify, mobilize, and address its own health and social problems. Think of it as the community's internal strength to take action. Community capacity is built from multiple dimensions, and each one matters. Individual skills and knowledge form the foundation. Every community contains residents with expertise in healthcare, education, communication, organizing, cooking, mentoring, and countless other areas. These individual capacities are often untapped resources just waiting to be discovered. Leadership is another critical dimension. Communities with strong, trusted leaders who can mobilize residents, navigate systems, and advocate for resources have greater capacity to improve health outcomes. Social networks and relationships are the glue that holds community capacity together. Strong social connections allow information to flow quickly, resources to be shared, and collective action to be organized. Communities where neighbors know each other, where organizations collaborate, and where trust exists between residents and institutions have higher capacity. Organizational resources also contribute to community capacity. This includes the physical infrastructure of community organizations, their staff expertise, their funding streams, and their connections to external resources. Here's something I want you to remember. Community capacity is not static. It can be built over time through participatory processes that develop leadership, strengthen relationships, and increase skills. Health educators play a key role in capacity building by engaging community members as partners rather than passive recipients. For the exam, understand that assessing community capacity is an important early step in the assessment process. It helps you understand what the community can already do for itself and where additional support is genuinely needed. When you approach a community with that mindset, you build trust and you build programs that last. Now let me walk you through asset mapping, which is the practical method for conducting an asset-based assessment. This is where the concept really comes to life. Asset mapping is a systematic process of identifying and cataloging the strengths, resources, and capacities that exist within a community. There are 5 levels to work through. The first level is individual assets. These are the skills, knowledge, talents, and experiences of individual community members. A retired nurse who could train community health workers, a local chef who could lead healthy cooking demonstrations, a bilingual parent who could help translate health materials, a teenager skilled in social media who could help with health communication campaigns. Individual assets are often the most overlooked resources in a community, and discovering them is genuinely exciting. The second level is associational assets. These are the informal groups and networks that bring people together around shared interests. Religious congregations, book clubs, sports leagues, parent groups, neighborhood watch committees, and cultural associations all represent organized social capital that can be mobilized for health purposes. The third level is institutional assets. These are the formal organizations that serve the community, including schools, hospitals, health clinics, libraries, government offices, businesses, and nonprofit organizations. Each institution has physical space, staff expertise, communication channels, and financial resources that could be directed toward health improvement. The fourth level is physical assets. These include parks, community gardens, recreation centers, walking paths, vacant lots that could be developed, public transportation routes, and natural features like rivers or trails. Physical assets define the built environment within which health behaviors occur. And the fifth and most important step is connecting assets to health priorities through community dialogue. Asset mapping is not just a catalog. It becomes powerful when community members gather to discuss how their identified assets can be strategically connected to address their most pressing health concerns. Let me give you a great example. A community might discover that a local church has a commercial kitchen, a retired nutritionist lives in the neighborhood, and a youth group is looking for service projects. Connecting these 3 assets could create a sustainable, healthy cooking program without requiring significant external funding. For the exam, remember that asset mapping produces both a physical map showing where resources are located and a relational map showing how they can be connected. This is community-driven health improvement at its best. Read the scenario stem aloud. Give students 30 seconds to consider options before advancing. The correct answer is B. The correct answer is B because the asset-based approach emphasizes connecting existing community resources to address health priorities through community dialogue and collaboration. Bringing asset holders together allows the community to design solutions using its own strengths. Option A defaults to a deficit-based approach by seeking external resources first. Option C uses only one asset instead of leveraging the full range of community capacities. Option D treats asset mapping as a documentation exercise rather than an action-oriented process.